Now I call upon the dais Dr. Aravind Mathur, country representative of World Health Organization for Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much. Professor Piani Soesa, the Chief Guest, and the Professor Emeritus, Professor Hema Mali Pereira, the President of SLACD, the President-elect, colleagues from India, particularly all the three who have been named earlier, distinguished participants, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first thank the organizers and office bearers of Sri Lanka Association of Child Development for inviting WHO and me personally to this very important conference. I compliment the association, which I believe is an early childhood in itself, as it was formed as recent as in 2012 and consists of multidisciplinary team of professionals. And as has been guided by Professor Piani Soesa, the initial work and the stimulation has been really encouraging and inspiring for not only the members, but the people, those who see it from outside. I'm certainly touched and impressed with the very meaningful and unique logo of the association, which certainly conveys heart-touching message, and I'm sure with the efforts and contributions of association, each and every child will be able to unlock its potential and blossom to their fullest. Ladies and gentlemen, evidence speaks for itself. As we reflect on the enormous magnitude of the problem, as globally 200 million children do not reach their developmental potential in the first 5 years, primarily because of poverty, poor health and nutrition, and importantly, lack of early stimulation. These disadvantaged children are likely to do poorly in school and subsequently have low incomes, high fertility, and provide poor care for their own children, thus contributing to the perpetuation of poverty. In Southeast Asia, more than 88 million children are not achieving their potential. As a result, their countries suffer an estimated 20% loss in adult productivity. Children with special needs, as defined, those who have or are at increased risk for chronic physical, developmental, behavioral, or emotional conditions, and who require health and related services of a type or amount beyond that required by children generally. Special needs could be arising from a gap in any domain of the well-being of a person. It may be a gap in physical, mental, or social well-being, and more often than one domain of well-being is involved. Ironically, not much information is available on the burden of disease and disabilities among children with special needs, whether it is in Sri Lanka or any other country in the Southeast Asia region or globe. So we largely have estimates of such problem. A wide variation to the tune of 11 to 24% can be seen in the reported prevalence of children with special needs around the world. However, we recognize that autism has been receiving an increasing attention. Autism spectrum disorders comprising a range of developmental disorders characterized by impairment in functions related to central nervous system maturation. Epidemiological data, again, the estimates the global prevalence of autism spectrum disorder as 1 person in 160. That is accounting for more than 7.6 million disability-adjusted life years, an indicator that we use generally to convey how the lives are going to be affected. Friends, given such a magnitude of problem, it was appropriate that it be brought to the attention of member countries with the United Nations General Assembly in January 2008, when the General Assembly adopted a resolution which designated 2nd April as World Autism Awareness Day. And I was very pleased to see that Sri Lanka has been one of those countries which has already observed the World Autism Day with the highest level of participation. Another General Assembly resolution in 2012 called for greater attention to the families and societies affected by autism. In May 2014, the World Health Organization Executive Board of WHO adopted a resolution on comprehensive and coordinated efforts for the management of autism spectrum disorders, which was supported by more than 60 countries in the world. And not only at a global level, at our Southeast Asia regional level, our regional committee also adopted a resolution on autism in 2012. What these resolutions that come from international fora and the international community mean to us? They provide a basis to member countries for initiating actions at country and at subnational level. Early childhood development programs and interventions are known to provide a fair start to all children. The effort by the bodies like WHO and the UN General Assembly has been to provide that kind of a fora, that kind of a basis, so that countries could start working on early childhood development so that we can offer fair start to all the children in the society. Parent education and support is certainly essential during the early stages of development. It is really heartening and delightful to know that the government of Sri Lanka is amongst the first few which has identified this, and creditable on the part of the government to have launched an early childhood development policy and initiate activities to address needs of such children through the public health staff at facility, at home, clinics, with monitorings of milestones and parent education. And no wonder that the foundation of these things was laid long back by Professor Soesa as she recalled the early years of her research and the work. And it is so very impressive to see that the SLACD and what Professor Hema Mali Pereira had indicated, that the work has been carrying forward in the country. I'm also very pleased to know, because it is very early days for me in Sri Lanka as a WHO representative, that we at a country level have been associated to partner and to support the activities and work in this area. I have been informed that the country office has been privileged to collaborate, partner, and provide technical support towards the endeavor of the government and partners like SLACD. Notable amongst these included the support towards the Child Mental Health Initiative with the development of different orientation and training manuals, such as for school medical officers, parents on managing children with autism, attention deficit, hyperactive disorders, and learning disabilities. I am very happy to note that multidisciplinary research, including the field testing of mental health gap modules for childhood development, has also been carried and supported in Sri Lanka. I'm also very, as I mentioned earlier, to see that the awareness advocacy events like Light It Up with Blue, with the participation of the Honorable First Lady of Sri Lanka and the then Honorable Minister of Health. And I'm sure that kind of a commitment, that kind of a support that has been mobilized by SLACD would be possible to continue and carry it forward with the current dispensation of the governments as well. I, on behalf of WHO, can certainly assure you that we will continue to support various activities as they are happening already, such as developing the practical guidelines, the capacity building of healthcare providers, the potential of developing and working further on parental education modules, and most importantly to me, working with the families and community-based organization to promote the mental health of the children and the parents and their ability to be able to cope up with the stress and the challenges that they face so they can remain mainstream in the society and not discriminated or are not stigmatized. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the challenges are plenty, and plenty both in terms of number, in terms of volume, in terms of scarcity of resources. You name one and the challenge would be there for us to face. But today I see a whole gathering of very committed and dedicated group of professionals and people who I am very sure will not leave any stone unturned to make the children realize their full potential. I, along with colleagues and team from WHO country and my other offices in the regional and the headquarter level, look forward to working with you and certainly wish this particular conference a great success, exciting and scintillating scientific deliberations that could pave path for further light and further understanding in our ability to address these children, so that what the logo said, that we can really unlock this potential. And on behalf of WHO, I really feel privileged that we are associated with it. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention, and thanks to the organizer for inviting us. Thank you so very much.